Coaching on tracks, balling, linking paper like Phil. I'm Morpheus if real, my rhymes convict and heal. A world blind, my lines are red.
6 threes by Paul George. 4-second difference. LeBron on the fly. Got his own miss and puts it up and in. LeBron James gives the Lakers the lead. Great follow-up in 16 for LeBron.
Does he miss it on purpose? He got the miss and the tip. They tie the game at 139.
He sneaks bottom side as the athleticism necessary. One of those simple fundamentals.
Iguodala turns it over. Bol back in. Nice feet ahead.
Oh, my
what
goodness.
a pass. Wow. In stride, perfect bounce pass, threading the needle.
Ball squared with the beautiful
They
pass.
have 3 20 points per game or more scores. Tatum blocked by Lopez. Lopez, one of the best shot blockers in a game this season. Antetokounmpo and the finish.
Take a look. Lopez, not known as a great defender in his career, but is certainly.
Welcome to the Faithful Fan Show. I am your host, Tony Cook. I am joined today by Matt Robinson. Welcome back, Matt.
Glad to be back. The first time went so well, I had to come back and do it again.
Yep, long time no see. You've been watching basketball?
I have been, man. It's like Christmas every day now.
Let's go. So, you know what I mean? It's the dope part is that it's been pretty good basketball. It hasn't been crazy sloppy. Like, I remember you telling me you thought it was about to be trash.
I did.
Like, not right. It's been cool. But the only downfall for me has been like Zion. They've restricted his minutes, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, but other than that, it's been pretty exciting, dude.
We expected the restrictions. I've been shocked. It has been sloppy, but not as sloppy as I thought it was. Playoff atmosphere, though. That's what I like about it. Everybody's playing with playoff atmosphere, and it is fun. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
NBA's back, baby.
Yep, I'm happy to see James Harden is back and Westbrook. They both look like they're going hard. They both look like they're doing their thing.
Definitely so.
Did you see? I don't know if you watched yesterday, mini basketball yesterday. T.J. Warren scored 53 points.
I did not see that.
To beat
53.
Yes, to beat Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid dropped 41 and 21.
Wow.
But it was silenced by T.J. Who is T.J. Warren? Who?
Hey.
The Portland. Not Portland. The Pacers. Indiana.
I was like, don't sleep on T.J. Warren, man.
He played for the Suns, right?
He did, yeah. That whole Pacers squad, I think they got a lot of underrated players. I think not this season. Next season, they're going to make a big splash, especially if Oladipo gets back to full go.
Yeah.
That's a really good team. I saw them earlier in the year. I saw them earlier in the year in Indiana, like December.
Yeah.
When they played against the Celtics, and they are a good ball club.
They play good defense. They also play good. See, I didn't know because they lost their young cat, big man Sabonis. Mm-hmm. They lost him, I think, before the bubble even started. I think.
Right.
So I was a little worried about them, but it looks like T.J. Warren is making it happen, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. It's looking good for the Pacers, but more importantly, a more poppin' matchup was the Clippers versus Lakers.
Yes.
I'm not going to talk about how the Lakers got smacked yesterday by the Raptors. They look good too. The Raptors defense looks good, but Lakers versus Clippers. What was your take on that game?
Okay, so that hot topic here. That game showed me that the Clippers are the best team in the West, and the reason I said that, I know. See, what? Listen.
What?
The Lakers won that game at full strength by 2 points against the Clippers that didn't have Lou Williams or what's the twin? What's the twin's name?
Oh my gosh. No, they didn't have what's his name? Harold.
Harold. You're right. They didn't have Harold.
Montrezl Harrell. They didn't have Montrezl Harrell. Yeah, that's 40 points off the bench right there.
You know what I mean? So for the Lakers to go into that game, the Clippers to go in that game underhanded and play the way they played, it's not good for the Lakers, right? It doesn't look good for the Lakers in LA. They played well. LeBron played a decent game, but AD got off.
And came through and played defense in the clutch against Paul George and Kawhi Leonard?
He did. But they should have won that game by 10 plus points. It should have been a 10-point swing by the Lakers. And so that right there has me concerned that when we get deeper into the season, when everybody starts meshing again, are they going to look how we expect them to look? That's a championship team. The Lakers are a championship team the way they're built out right now.
Yes.
When I saw the signings, I was like, they're winning. There's no way nobody can compete with them. They cannot lose. But then they go in there, they played they have 16 turnovers, very sloppy basketball. That's expected. Have been off.
Yeah.
But they only beat a Clippers team by 2.
But listen, Matt,
You know what I mean?
think about it, Matt. Okay, so I hear what you're saying. No Lou Will, no Montrezl Harrell. But us Laker fans, we don't want to hear that right now from the Clippers. It's time to go. It's time to go, Matt. So, like, I'm just saying, like, and what else the Lakers proved when they played them? Anthony Davis dropped 34. Honestly, even with Montrezl Harrell back, they have no one that can stop Anthony Davis. I mean, who do they have? Zubac, Montrezl Harrell. Don't give me JaMychal Green. Don't give me Marcus Morris. They're all getting trashed and washed by Anthony Davis, dude.
They are.
And he proved that. He proved that in that game, dude.
100% they are. I think the best thing that we saw from the Lakers is that LeBron doesn't have to do it all his own. He has help. He has solid help. And the last time we saw LeBron with that kind of help, he was in Miami. And they ran off 2 out of 4 championships.
Yeah, and LeBron really didn't even have that good of an offensive game. And you've seen he tried to contribute more on the defensive end because of it. And it helped out in the end. He was guarding Kawhi, and then Kawhi passed it off. He shut down Paul George. Everyone thought it was a foul, but no.
No, it wasn't a foul. It was good defense. It was great defense. Great defense. Great defense.
Paul George tried to lead into it. And what else we saw is Kuzma came out to the bubble to play, dude. I feel like he's playing he's more intense on defense. He's not the greatest defensive player, but we need him to care. And that's what
Kuzma really stepped into his role as a role player. I think whatever it is, he's got that, like, he doesn't have that star, I got to be a star on his shoulders anymore. That's what it looked like to me. He doesn't have, I got to be a star. I just got to play my part, do my role. I'm really impressed with what he did. I'm really impressed. Like, as a squad, I think they played complete basketball. They looked good. I can't say they looked really good.
And no, we didn't beat them by 10 points, Tim. But, when it mattered at the end, we were beating them convincingly almost the whole game. Clippers kind of came back at the end. You know what I mean? Like, so it was a pretty convincing win if you look at it quarter by quarter, dude.
Nah, because you gave up.
Paul George got at us. I can't say anything. We don't got nothing. We have nothing for Paul George.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. I think right now, the Clippers are the team to beat in the Western Conference. I know they're 5-6 games back, but the Lakers are going to take the number 1 seed. They're going to. I don't see them losing ground, which they definitely need that number 1 seed. But the problem
with that being said, hold on, Matt. Wait. So I just need to get I need Matt's NBA playoff predictions, because I feel like you're saying Clippers are going to beat the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Like,
that's
is that what you're trying to say off that matchup?
Saying.
That's what your predictions are?
That's what I'm saying. And I said, here's an even bolder prediction.
Oh my God.
I think it's going to be Lakers Clippers. And the reason I'm going to give the hat to the Clippers is because what I saw with the Lakers, they're going to get matched up against Portland. I'm calling it Portland's getting the number 8 seed. Portland is scary.
You're right about that, and I do not want to play them. I do not want to play them in that first round.
Because you're going 6 games. That's going to be a 6-game series, right? Then after that, you're probably going to pull Houston. You're probably going to pull Houston at that point.
No rest.
You're going to run up and down.
That's if they hit that 4. Yeah,
I think they'll get up to 4. So you'll hit Houston, right? So now you're going to be running. Okay, let's say you don't hit Houston and you get Utah. I
think we can get with Utah. I think we can get with Utah because their guards are a little bigger. Conley's playing good right now.
You will beat all of these teams. What I'm saying is
they're going to take 6 or more games.
Yeah, they're going to take you. No rest in the bubble. They're going to take you deep into those series, and then you're going to meet a Clippers team, which I think the Clippers, they get a little more rest. I'm not saying they're going to sweep through, but I think
Dallas is scary for the Clippers, man. Dallas is scary, and if that's the matchup, right?
Dallas is good, but I think Dallas is a little young. Too. I think they're a little young. They've also got a lot of stuff going on in their front office they got to deal with. They're not completely focused over there in Dallas.
Do that.
But I think they get out of Dallas in 5. Right, or let's say they go in Dallas to 6, then who will they pull? They'll pull. It depends. It'd be either the Nuggets, or probably the Nuggets. I think it'll be the Nuggets. So I think they beat the Nuggets in 5. Right, so they're
OKC. OKC is looking pretty good after the past couple games, dude. They look like they might get out of the first round.
They do, but I don't see them getting past either the Rockets or the Jazz. Whoever gets that 4 seed, right? True. I know OKC is ahead of the Rockets right now. It'll all shake out. I think the Rockets will move to that 4 seed. Okay, we'll move down to 6. Utah's going to come in at 5.
And
you know, or even if Utah stays at 4.
Too tired to compete with the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals.
Hey, you heard it here first.
Oh my God!
You heard it here first.
We about to be hitting your line all playoffs.
Yeah, you heard it here first. It's gonna be what everybody expected. In LA Milwaukee Finals, it's just not gonna be purple and gold, baby.
Hey man, everybody keep talking about how the Clippers are never at full strength. Well, when are we gonna see it? When we gonna see it, y'all? When we gonna see the Clippers at full strength?
The Western Conference Finals.
Chicken wings at the strip club. He missing out on games. He missing out on games. We need him in that game.
No comment.
No comment.
No comment.
We just gotta eat.
My man was hungry.
Was hungry.
You saw the box lunches they've been getting.
Okay, but on the East, who you got coming out of the East?
Milwaukee.
I mean, it's pretty obvious, you know what I mean?
It's Milwaukee. I think we'll get a Milwaukee-Toronto Finals.
Okay. You on the same boat as me.
I think we'll get a Milwaukee-Toronto Finals. And I don't want to sleep on Toronto, right? But I think
you don't want to.
I don't want to sleep on Toronto.
Hey, my boy Corey Schuler, he's calling the Celtics Milwaukee matchup. I'm like, I think Kimba with his hurt knee is compromised.
Yeah.
Hey, Corey, you was in my comments last episode, so I had to call you out right now. But anyways, back to the topic. Yes, I think Toronto, Milwaukee. Right. I think that's the matchup in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I just think Milwaukee's built for the bubble too. You know what I mean? Milwaukee, the way they play. The depth that they have, they're built to withstand this type of like back-to-back play. So I think they're going to be the best conditioned team. I think they're going to be the best team ready late in the season, and that's really what's going to favor them over Toronto.
And they have quite possibly the best player in the NBA. If we're not talking LeBron James,
right?
You know, Antetokounmpo is absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean?
So. But even like he is, but Giannis has still not showed up in the playoffs for me.
This is true. Most teams have found a way to eliminate him in the playoffs.
So
take him away and make their outside shooting try to beat them, and it works out. It works out better for the other team normally. You know.
Right. Chris Middleton is going to be very key to their success.
He's a baller though. He's underrated. I've been watching him since since the bubble started back up, and I'm like, oh, okay. Chris Middleton got a good mid range, got a good three.
He is an all-star, right? He is an all-star.
Yeah, man.
He made the all-star team. So he's good, but I think he's going to have to step up. He's going to have to step up and move into that perennial position and really take on matchups and win games for them, which is something he hasn't done. You know, he's been he's been a fantastic role player, right?
Yeah.
He is an all-star, but I would not consider him a star. He hasn't played like a star.
Yeah, he's not top 10. He's not an elite player by any means, you know, and that's why Milwaukee struggles when the other teams decide to take away Antetokounmpo.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we heard it here first. Matt has the Clippers and the Milwaukee Bucks meeting in the finals. Wow.
At me.
Wow.
At me.
Please blow my comments up. Talk to Matt. Please, somebody talk some sense into Matt. Please. All right. We halfway through the show. Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk a little NFL. Okay, stay with us. You know, thank you. We'll be right back.
Just get the stop. Trying to play with a little bit of pace here. Lob for Jaron. Oh, my. How about the one-hand left lob?
Screen. Probing inside. Out to his protege. Nice bounce pass and inside and one. Gallinari punching it home.
65-62 Wizards. LeVert. Oh, killer crossover and a chance for three. Karis LeVert.
Augustine Vucevic pick and roll. Vucevic for three. Little nifty no-look over-the-shoulder pass.
Welcome back to the Faithful Fan Show. I'm here with my man Matt. We got the crazy NBA predictions, the hot takes from Matt coming in. Let's go.
Said, at me.
Let's go. Hey, but we're going to jump into the NFL. Man, Matt, there's players opting out of the NFL season. My man DeMarcus Lawrence, he's teeter-tottering whether or not he wants to play for the Cowboys because of all the virus stuff going on. Mm-hmm. Do you think the NFL season, if we pretty much know it's going to start, you know, rookies have already reported training camp. Do you think the season will finish, like, with everything that's going on?
I think it will finish because there's a lot of money on the line. And I think business people will always figure out how to make a business run, right?
They're going to make it happen.
Now, what it will look like by the end of the year or how many games, who knows? But I think there's too much money for them to, like, not play, right? I do think the NFL, out of all the leagues, is going to have the most problems because I think they have the loosest restrictions out of everybody.
And it seems like MLB's already having issues, so it's like, NFL's more contact, and they seem a little more laxed with it too. So it's like, damn.
Yeah, there's no bubbles. You know, it's you're really up to the responsibility of the players. And not to say that people are irresponsible, but these people have families, they got lives, these are adults that are not used to this. So I think there's going to be some bumps in the road. We're going to see a lot of players out, see a lot of players missing for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, man, Marquise Goodwin already said, like, he got on First Take, and he was talking about how he knows the young players are going to do what they do. They're going to party. They're not going to be safe. And because there's no bubble, there's no, players policing, it's going to all come crumbling down. He doesn't even think there's going to be a finish to the NFL season. So I'm just like, I'm skeptical. There's players in the league that don't think it's going to happen. Like,
billionaires will figure out how to keep their billions coming in, right? They're going to figure it out. Even if they have to pull in replacements, they're going to figure it out.
What will the product look like, Matt? What will the product look like? I don't know.
Ask yourself this: are we really expecting the product to be what we're used to? We are. Look, let's go back to the basketball, right? The product on the basketball is not top notch, but we're excited.
Yeah,
we're excited to see it. So I don't think
football is good football at this point. You're right.
Right, exactly.
As long as I can set my fantasy team up, let's go.
Oh, fantasy! Well, man, fantasy's gonna look way different.
Yeah, that's gonna take a big hit.
What's gonna happen with fantasy? That's the real question.
Because it's so much more unpredictable. Are people really gonna put their money in like that? You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, next topic, Matt. I need to know since the off season's pretty much wrapping up, we about to start the NFL season. Who are your big winners in the off season? NFC, AFC. You know what I mean?
So number one, off the bat, we have to say the Chiefs. The reason we have to say the Chiefs is, one, they had no money going into the off season, and somehow they retained everybody they needed.
Everybody.
They're coming back full. That team is coming back full go. So I have to say, just with everything going, that they're a step ahead of everybody else because the chemistry is there. They didn't change no key personnel change.
Yep.
No coaching staff change. The system is not changing.
Still head of the helm. Yep.
So they're going to be the sharpest in the beginning.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not giving them the Super Bowl already because this is the NFL.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's hard to repeat, and then with the COVID, at any moment anybody can go down. It's like that. Everybody's one play away, but now everybody's one cough, sneeze, sniffle away.
Exactly.
Being out.
This is gonna look crazy if they get to crown an NFL champion. You know what I mean?
Right. The next underneath them, now this is also a crazy one. I have to say the Patriots. The reason I say the Patriots is because they got Cam Newton for a peanut butter jelly sandwich and a bag of Skittles, right? And I think Cam Newton is still a productive quarterback. He may not be the MVP quarterback that he was, but he's definitely productive.
Belichick's going to know what to do with him. Like, you know what I mean? It's actually Daniels, you know what I mean? Like,
Josh McDaniels?
Josh McDaniels that's going to know what to do with him.
And if you look at it, the team is already built for Cam. That team is built for Cam because they have a big offensive line. They have big running backs. They've got tight ends, and they throw a lot of short routes, and they have a solid defense. So it's really, they just need Cam to come in and take care of the football. I don't want to call him a game manager, but just take care of the football. That team is back to, maybe not of the caliber they were with Tom Brady, but they're still a very competitive football team.
They are. Now, the team that I think that won in the AFC was the Indianapolis Colts. Just 2 wins because of what the Texans did. The division, you know what I mean? They busted that division. I'm gonna keep saying it as many episodes I come on here. They busted that division up. So here we go. The Colts got Rivers. You know what I mean? And that's a big come up.
That's a big come up.
That catapults them to probably the playoffs. They got to get past the Titans.
Do we still think that Rivers has the zip on the ball that he needs? Like, is Rivers still a?
I think with what the Colts had, they had a good enough team. They just didn't have
consistent quarterback play.
You know what I mean? A consistent quarterback play. And I think he's got at least one more year. He's got at least 1 or 2 more years, for a playoff run. I'm not saying they're winning a Super Bowl, but I think they came up because the Colts were looking kind of muddy. But because of everything that's happened.
Phillip Rivers is a fierce competitor. He's a great quarterback. He's been on the decline for a couple of years. And what I saw last year, I know a lot of people want to say, the offensive line play. Maybe so, but I don't see the zip on the ball that he once had. And his decision making, he's a gunslinger, right? Phillip Rivers believes he can make every throw, and he can, or he could, right? But now I just don't see that same tenacity. I don't see the same behind it on the throws that he makes.
I agree with that. And he's always been erratic with his picks and throwing interceptions, and that doesn't help. But back to your point about the offensive line play. The Colts have a really good offensive line. That's another thing
best in the league.
That might help them out, dude. They just didn't have a good quarterback to just, get the ball to T.Y. Hilton. We'll see. We'll see. But, this will be the year, the prove-it year for Phillip Rivers.
Definitely.
He can really do this. I think he's under a 2-year, right? Yeah. So I think after they're going to see this year, and then next year they might have to draft a quarterback.
We'll see. Yeah, even if you get even if he is the transition quarterback, right, where the next guy coming through the door, he grooms him. That's a great transition quarterback.
Hey, yeah, man. Phillip Rivers. Shout out to Phillip for getting one more chance. In the NFC though, who are your big winners?
The Cardinals.
Yeah,
the Cardinals, because they was able to.
That's the same.
Hey,
they got the best receiver in the NFL, possibly.
If the Patriots got Cam for peanut butter jelly and a bag of chips, the Cardinals got him for Arizona iced tea. I'm just saying.
Thank you. It's hot out here in Arizona.
Man, Bill O'Brien is on one. Bill O'Brien is on one.
What is he doing?
But I think Kyler Murray is an amazing young quarterback. The sky is up for him. You couple DeAndre Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald. I still think they need somebody who can stretch the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think.
What's his name? Christian Kirk.
Kirk, yeah, but Kirk is not. He's not stretching the field. He's more.
He's not a burner. He's not a burner.
Yeah.
You're right.
So they've got a solid receiving core. They've got a nice. Their running backs are nice. The offensive line is solid. It's middle of the pack, I believe. And Kyler Murray's on the uptrend. So they got to figure some things out on the defense side of the ball before we can take them serious as contenders in their own division. Because their division is loaded, but they definitely have an upswing. They're going in the right direction. And if you are a Cardinals fan, it's time to get excited. It's time to jump back on that.
They're going to be scoring some points. That's for sure. Hey, what about the Tampa Bay Bucks?
So the Buccaneers, definitely they're number 2 in the AFC because they got Tom Brady and Gronk. As much as Gronk want to say that, it wasn't planned. I
don't know if this is correct, but I think they may have signed LaShawn McCoy too. Running back.
Yes, they did. They just signed him.
That's not bad. That's not bad to add to the backfield. I don't know if he's going to be starting.
I think he's got, from what we saw in Kansas City, he's definitely got 8 games. And if you can use him right, at the right time, them 8 games are definitely valuable. He got 8 games in him,
Oh.
So, hey, am I lying? Am I lying now?
No, you're not lying. You're not. That's why I said I don't know if he's starting. He might have to share the backfield.
Oh, yeah, he'll be in situationally, and they're gonna get all them 8 games over the 19 that they're gonna play. Yeah, I said it.
From what I'm seeing, their receiving core is probably one of the tops. Everyone's saying Godwin and Evans are like top 5 receivers, both of them.
They're
I
solid.
don't know about Godwin. I got to watch a little more of Godwin. I knew Evans was up there, but dang.
He's a beast. Godwin he's a solid receiver. That offense looks good.
Yeah.
My thing is the biggest concern or question mark, I can't say concern, question mark I have with that is Bruce Arians, we all know, likes long developing plays. He likes long drops. He likes down the field, risk it, no biscuit, right?
Not really with Tom Brady. Tom Brady gets the ball out quick.
Right. And so I think, of course, Arians is a great quarterback coach. He's going to get something that works for Tom, but, let's just see how that works out.
Yeah,
let's see how it works out.
Yeah, that works out. Yeah. But the addition of Gronk, Tom, to add to all the weapons they already had, and Bruce Arians himself, I'm pretty sure he'll find a way to, form something around Tom Brady to make it work. Hopefully.
Let's sit here for a second. Where do you put them in their own division? Because that's
why
a deep division.
Saints to me are, probably, if I had to be objective and not put the Cowboys at number 1 in the NFC, I'd have to go with the Saints at the top of the NFC. And then you still got to look at the Falcons are always competitive because they added Todd Gurley.
Right. So that takes a lot of stress off of
putting them. I think they'll sneak into the playoffs and get a wild card. They'll be second in the division.
You think the Bucs will be second in the division?
I don't think they're winning the division. I think if the Bucs make the playoffs.
Oh, they're not winning the division. You don't think they'll fit? So you're putting the Bucs in the playoffs simply because of Tom Brady?
No. I think all the other additions, they weren't bad last year. I mean, they had a quarterback that threw 30 interceptions. Like, you know what I mean? And you add Tom Brady, the GOAT. You know what I mean? And you add Gronk. You add LaShawn McCoy. You add some veterans that know what to do with the ball in the fourth quarter. I think it's time. I think it's time.
I love Tom Brady. Like, I'm a Tom Brady fan, right? I don't think
because if you don't make the playoffs, everyone's gonna say he failed, dog.
Right. I want him to, but I don't think they're making the playoffs. I don't think they're going. And I think that team is great,
That's
right?
Competitive though. You're right.
I was supposed to say it, but there's a lot of good teams in the NFC, right? There's a lot of good teams
out of the NFC East make the playoff. Like usually, or the NFC West. Like the Seahawks and the 49ers probably both making the playoffs.
And that division, they're gonna beat up on each other, right?
Yeah.
The thing with the Bucs is I don't think they're very deep, and I think that was their problem last year. Yes, Jameis Winston should have taken care of the football a lot better. Would have probably won 2 or 3 more games, got him in the playoffs. But again, depth is going to be the key this year. Depth is going to be the key moving on with the new CBA and everything. From this forward, you have to have a deep team in order to really be competitive. I don't see the depth.
The virus going on and everything. Yeah.
I think their defensive line is very good. But after you get out of that first rotation, they start to slug. They start to get a little sluggish. Their linebackers are fast. They're going to play a great coverage. They're great in coverage. But again, after you get to that first rotation, what do they have? I think their secondary has always been a little weak.
Yeah, definitely.
Their secondary has always been a little weak. So we'll kind of see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what they got. We'll see what they got. But they definitely were winners in the offseason. They definitely were winners in the offseason for sure.
They definitely were.
But man. And then the last topic I want to hit you with is, we know what's going on in baseball. Is it over because of the Miami Marlins and the whole outbreak with their team? Is it over?
I mean, think about it. They're in Miami, party in the city when the heat is on.
Man,
they was all night on the beach till the break of dawn, and they, and they got COVID.
Oh gosh, and there's a lot of positive tests going around out there in Florida, man.
Yeah, and Philly's had a popped it. But I think this is what I think. If baseball wants to continue their season, it's very easy, right? I'm not going to say easy, and I don't know if it's fair, but what they could do is just say, hey, your entire organization was partying on the beach. Y'all just got to forfeit some games for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And really put the onus on the teams, right? The teams and the players to police themselves and be responsible.
Yeah.
We don't all know the situation. We don't know how
it all goes spread, yeah.
How to go through it. But probably there was some irresponsibility. If we were to really cut down, there's some irresponsibility. So baseball, if they want to complete their season, they've got to punish people like that.
Yeah,
sorry, but.
And I heard one way they might try to make the season go without it actually be everyone playing the same amount of games is teams get in by their winning percentage, which is a good way to cancel out the whole, every team didn't play the same amount of games. So if the Marlins do have to forfeit a bunch of games, it doesn't affect everyone. It's not a ripple effect. You know what I mean? So
right.
That's a good way to, it's optimistic. But
but look, think about this.
There's more outbreaks in other teams. It might be over, bro. It might be over for MLB. They might call it a season.
They might, but I think they're going to try and push through and play,
They are. Hey, you said it before, that big money.
That big money. They could also say, okay, instead of playing 60 games, we'll drop it down to 50, 40, and push through. Or like you said, they can go winning percentage. They've already added an extra team to the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
So I think there's a lot of things they can do in baseball to keep the season going. Again, the product on the field probably won't be well. They've got minor league teams. So let's say you have 3 or 4 players.
That's the good thing about baseball. They have a whole other expansion team that they
can pull up from.
Exactly.
If they want to finish it, they can figure out a way to finish it.
I heard that. Well, Matt, thank you for your educated opinions on the show and your hot takes about the Clippers. How dare you get on my show and talk about the Clippers like that?
Because it's your show. That's why I had to do it.
You gonna hype the Clippers up on my show, man? Oh, my gosh.
Look, hey, everybody, all the fans out there, I'll be back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, and we'll be sitting down talking about, the Clippers, they the number 1 seed. Okay, they won't be the number 1 seed. They won't be the number 1 seed. I ain't going that far.
Hijack the show. He's hijacked the show. Hey, we got to get out of here. Hey, but Thank you, Matt. Thank you, honestly, for joining the show. We appreciate everyone. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you. Thank you so much. The Faithful Fan Show. This was episode 13. We'll be back next time.
Rookie in the paint, going hard with the venom. Shot so much, man, I think I need a leg. Rookie in the paint, going hard with the venom. Shot so much, man, I think I need a leg. Animal, MC Cannibal, rap Hannibal. Here to change the game, mainframe, all y'all programmable. Coaching on tracks, balling like a paper like Phil. I'm Morpheus and real, my rhymes convict and heal. A world blind, my lines a red pill, real. Ball like I've been here, rookie in his prime. Focus like Jordan the second time. Kobe in playoff times, you know fully when I drop. Call for it, Kalinko in the Blizo spit. Auto like free throws, Vahito. Circle loose, stroke magic. Rhymes over